Timestamp. Where are we? January 8th, 2026. It's an old 2026 thing. I'm just like, wow. We made it, you know. It is about 5:40 a.m. Been up for like 10 minutes. Got greeted by Acorn's been like sleeping like right under my feet on like right in front of the couch past 3 nights. He normally sleeps like under the arm, like under where my head is on the couch. The past 3 nights though he's been like right in front of the couch, making it very difficult to stand up initially because there's a dog there, which I'm not sure what prompted that like change in real estate. Turn the corner heading for, you know, the kitchen to, you know, stumble out of bed and, you know, trying to pour myself a cup of ambition here. We're doing some Harry and David milk chocolate peanut butter. It's a pot I started when I went to bed. Got greeted by Janus and Hex doing the stretchy thing. Good morning, how you doing? You know. So if you know, like, cat body language, whatnot, I'm apparently both of their number one people. I already knew that about Hex, but Janus, he's been doing that, so he is mine, it would seem. Which, cool. Staring at me from over there. I put food in the bowl very low. You go eat, clean it out, because I'm going to make sure that the acorn doesn't run over there because it's on the ground and eat up your food. Okay? Alright. Because he's, for those of you who just tuned in, Janus is a tripod cat. He's a three-legged cat. We normally have the cat food bowl on top of the dryer in the garage because the cats can jump there, but I don't know what it is, but cat food is ambrosia as far as dogs are concerned. So if we have the cat food down low, one or both of the dogs will go in there, eat their food, and then, you know, it's a very sibling level obnoxiousness. He licked all the donuts, so I can't have any, you know. It's apparently something that my wife's brother used to do. They'd get a box of donuts and her brother would like lick the tops of the donuts so that, you know, as if to claim them. In cat society, he would have just peed on the donut box. And having met the guy, I don't know that I'd put it past him. Just whip out and urinate on the Dunkin' Donuts. Actually, we come from different worlds, my wife and I. She was raised on Krispy Kreme. I was raised on Dunkin' Donuts. But we can make it work, even though we come from two very different cultures. It's true. Good. Yeah, I hear him. It's like tin bowls, so I hear him like rattling around in there. Because, you know, I hear in color. Yeah, good. Good. You eat up, pal. You've been through a lot. You're allowed to eat. Been chatting a little bit with Fun Size via Facebook and Messenger and all that. Excuse me a moment. as I said, just got up, so you can probably hear if you hear in color, you can probably hear the congestion. When I first get up, my sinuses are usually just, an hour from now, fine, but at the moment, yeah, he's draining that bowl. Good. It's good, like, inch layer. Trying to make sure he's eating. He's been eating the dog food in a pinch, but I know it's not good for him. And the dogs will let him. They're good about that, but unattended, they will annihilate cat food, which it's not any more expensive or cheaper, but I know that even though kibble isn't necessarily the best thing for animals, it is at least balanced better for cats, for dogs. You're not supposed to feed one the other. So I would prefer it if my cats ate the cat food and my dogs, since apparently Tanner is mine too now, I would prefer it if the dogs ate the dog food. Little thing. If you have both, you may have experienced that before, so you know what I'm talking about. Went to bed, health check, congested, obviously. A little bit shallowness of breath, chest tightness, but I feel like I was having a weird dream night, woke up a little not startled, but a little out of sorts, like maybe I'd had a really discombobulating series of dreams or something. I don't remember. I feel like my dad was involved, but I don't know specifics. I just feel like he was a major player in said dreams. But I mean, he's always on my mind right now, so it's kind of unescapable in that respect. Or inescapable. Went to bed with some John Pertwee action going on. It was the Demons, which is a goofy, fun episode. There aren't always a lot of Doctor Who characters, like background characters, like only in one episode characters that really stand out. But background on the Demons, and I think they called it the Daemons. No, I think they did call it the Demons. But to get it past, because even in England at the BBC, there are certain things like, like Roddenberry sneaking the first interracial kiss past. There are certain things that, and this is religious based, so, that was kind of you've got demons in this episode, Church of England kind of, don't do that, The idea was that it was a race of intergalactic beings that slumbering on Earth. They're not actual demons, That's the workaround. But they're going to be a professor is doing a dig at a place called Demon's Hump or something like that, and supposedly it's an ancient burial site. And the town crank doesn't want them to do it because, and the master's involved. It's a great Roger Delgado master episode. But the town crank doesn't want them to dig it up because they're going to, awaken the forces of evil. And she's a old school marm looking, not old, probably 40, school marm character named Miss Hawthorne. And she is just a hoot to watch. They ask her, why do you have such a problem with that? Why do you think something's going to happen? They've got a film crew there and they're making a big media thing out of it. Why do you think this is such a problem. Why should we have a problem with them digging it up? And she says, because I'm a witch, and I know these things. I'm a white witch, but I'm a witch. There's evil. Don't dig it up. I mean, she's just a really fun character. So, again, there aren't that many episodes where there's like like an NPC character that you look at and go, man, you're going to stick with me. She sticks with me. She's a hoot. Miss Hawthorne. And she kind of gets flirty with Benton. It's funny. Benton? You gotta love some Sergeant Benton. If you watch old school Doctor Who and you don't like Sergeant Benton, something's wrong with you. I'm just saying how it is. But, yeah, I woke up, we went way back in time, William Hartnell, Aztecs was on, which I think is probably one of the best William Hartnells. The meddling monk or whatnot's really quite good too, but I still feel like that character's kind of a precursor to the Master. If you know, you know. Really feels like a pre-Master. I don't know. No one's ever, stated that per se, but really, really some Master vibes. Even though he looks like Buddy Hackett. Doesn't sound like Buddy Hackett, but just kind of makes me think of like a young Buddy Hackett. Oh, got a bunch of little things on my list today. Yeah, exactly. Pix is supposed to come over. We're going to try and knock out Dad's office. We want to try and get Alex situated. I got 5 pounds of chicken in there that I need to trim, cut, and cube and fry up. Goofiest thing. I had made some chicken for her like 2 weeks ago. She wanted me to she wanted chicken to be able to add to like vegetable stuff. So, because George, she can't really do a lot of cooking there. So I was going to pre-do all the chicken. I did pre-do all the chicken. And I said, how do you want me to prep it? And she was like, just fry it up, bronze it, get that golden brown on the outside like you normally would. And like seasoning, she's like, just do what you would normally do. So I did. And I was using like a garlic herb Italian basic blend. And she's doing more like Asian style veg mixes. And she's like, it's not working because, you did the chicken and it just doesn't blend well with what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, you told me to do what I'd normally do. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I did the way I would normally prep chicken, like generically for me. I did it that way as per instructions. So, what you want from me? She's like, well, okay, I see that. She's like, well, next batch, don't do that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you want me to? You tell me, what would you like? Like, I'm at a loss here. And I said, okay, so you're doing mostly like Asian blends and whatnot? And she told me some of the dishes that she's doing. I'm like, okay. So I could do like a light ginger on the chicken, and that would probably blend well with about everything that you just mentioned. She's like, okay, yeah, do that. Oh, okay. Okay, this next batch I'll do with like a light ginger thing going on, and yeah. Now, as an add-on to the conversation, I said, when I do this, do not come back to me afterwards and say, that was the wrong seasoning to do, because we've already cleared it up front. So I don't want to hear it didn't work, because I know based on what you're telling me that a light ginger on the chicken, number one, it's not going to be overpowering. Number two, it's going to be a nice blend. So I don't want to hear it. But yeah, she's used, I think I made like 12 or 14 like mini packs, like, good amount of chicken to add to, larger salad kind of dish, using like snack size bags, Ziplocs. And she's used most of them. She's still got a couple, but yeah, it's not working. I did what you told me to do. She's like, they're cooked great, but the seasoning, lady. Oh, and she brought over a box of and this is a weird sort of great news for me. She brought over a box with like a few mugs from George for me, because she's starting to try and bring things over from George to here. And I had another large face Taz in with that stuff over there. So I've actually got 2 of the large face mugs. I've got 3 of the Bugs Bunny, which that's not a problem. But I've got 2 of the Taz, 2 of the Tweety, and 2 of the Sylvester. So I can abandon my search for a second Taz because I already have one. And I do have a second Coyote Mini Faces, the lavender one. I do have a second Coyote on the way. Guy had that, and you'll see when it gets here, because even if the Coyote doesn't make transportation safely, because there's a 70% chance that it'll make it here safely. There's still that 30% that it doesn't. It was 2 mugs. I say mug loosely. In the lot. The second thing in it was, they're plastic-ish, but in the early 90s they did some like full head. It's basically a cup with like a plastic piece that goes around it that is a character face. Almost like that. I got this guy down here. He holds my like SD cards and stuff. Dusty in here. But it's basically like a mug, but then it has the face part like around it. I'll show you when I get here. They did a Looney Tunes set like that in the early 90s. They did Taz and Tweety and Bugs and Coyote and a bunch. I want to say there's like 6 or 8 in the set. I'm not sure who did that. It was a like fast food premium, or I forget how those got released. Now it's been 30 years. Cut me some slack. But he had a Bugs Bunny one with the Coyote Many Faces mug, and I was like, you know what? I could use that on my desk. That would be a fun pen holder. Because I won't drink out of those. I had, probably still do. I've got a couple of mugs like that from the 90s. It was a thing for a minute. And they're just clunky. They're just clunky. For me, if you like them, cool. You know what? You enjoy them. Because again, use what gives you joy. But yeah, I always feel like I don't know, even though there's a handle, I'm like, where do I grab it, There's a little too much action going on here. I just want mug. Look, a simple device. Don't overcomplicate it. But it'll be, maybe I'll use it on my crafting desk to like hold my brushes or something. Actually, that's not bad. I won't drink out of it, but I can use it for other utility things, and it's Bugs Bunny. So, it's Bugs Bunny. What more do you need right there? The only way it could even be better is if it was like, Marvin. And that's really more of a tie. That's not necessarily better. Because I kind of love them both about equally. I mean, Bugs Bunny is my hero. Marvin is my favorite foil, Rama Lama Lama, they go together kind of thing, Oh man, that's good. And they make wonderful fiction together. I started boxing up some of the extra mugs again last night, doing another batch. Got a couple more to sell. I had like a couple of older Tweety mugs. They're cute, but I've already got some good Tweety mugs. I like them, I don't love them. Because that's the line, I don't have any mugs that I don't like. I already crossed that threshold. Any mugs that are up there I at least like. But if I don't love you, kick to the curb. It's not like that. But yeah, I got a bunch of little things to do today. We're gonna try and get that room squared away. Tomorrow is gonna be like a major errand day. I want to open these. So I got these in a mixed lot a while back. There's some of the character building, which is essentially a Lego type ting. These are I had some of these at the shop that I sold, but they weren't this set. It was like Series 1, Series 2. This, I don't even know. What is the series number? Do you actually say? No. No, I sure don't. Micro figures, yeah. 11 to collect, yeah. Doesn't actually say what series. That's interesting. Item number 04717. It's the same on both, so that's not a code. Because sometimes blind bags will have like codes, and if you know what they are, you can look them up and all that. But the blind bags, these aren't actually going for like huge amounts. They're going for about the same amount as the figures inside. So I'm gonna open them and see what I get. But this is 11 to collect. Basically, so this would have come out like right before Capaldi, I guess. I'm guessing. ...2009, yeah. That would have come out during Matt Smith. So, no Capaldi, basically all the Doctors before that. There's apparently one figure of each. And doesn't say anything about, like, a super rare or anything like that. Sometimes they don't, though. Like a completely gold Tom Baker figure or something goofy like that. But so I've got because when we had the shop open, I have like a couple of different David Tennant, I think, and Matt Smith ones, because that's when they were just starting to do this line. They're decent. As like a faux Lego, not bad. They've done some play sets and stuff. I mean, they've done a lot since the shop closed. Don't cut your finger off, Mark. There we go. But yeah, because the shop closed in 2015 or 2016, so they've been doing them for a few years. We never got these in though. This set anyway. And comes with the traditional little poster kind of thing that shows you who all's in it. Nice. Then on the back it's got some of the play sets and stuff that are available. Dalek spaceship set. That's pretty sweet. Cyberman Speeder. Cyberman in Speedo. Okay. And a Dalek skimmer. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay. That is a David Tennant that I don't have because they did new figures for this set. Pretty cool. Oh, yeah. A little bit more presentable now, right? That's definitely some Tennant hair going on there. Legs. Which, you know, David Tennant is my favorite of the newer Doctors, so down with that. Another fun feature is they do come with a little Sonic, or at least some of them will. I would imagine if they don't normally have a Sonic, they probably wouldn't come with one. It'd be fun if Patrick Troughton came with the recorder. And they do come with a little stand, which is kind of cool. So, holes in the feet. I'm always preaching about that, right? Eh. Oh, come on now. We were just talking about this. We were just talking about how convenient this is. Don't make me look bad. Yeah. So, definitely work well. Be a hoot if I got a Tom Baker. Like my favorite from the old and the new. But honestly, there's no bad answer. You know? There's no bad answer. The only bad answer would be if I got a second Tennant. Which I definitely did not get a second Tennant. Yeah, Colin Baker. Colin Baker. Okay. I personally do not have a problem with Colin Baker. He's cranky. But he's pretty funny. No, that's cool. So, Colin Baker is Doctor number 6. If you're keeping score. And his costume is a good example as to why you don't start dictating how it's going to be. The popular rumor, and it's been pretty confirmed, is that when he first got there, having been cast as the Doctor, he started kind of being like, alright, I'm in charge, I'm the Doctor. This is what I want, So the costume department made him a very entertaining costume as a means of saying, alright, bitch. Later on, he did get a more low-key, like solid blue kind of outfit going on, as shown here. But initially, his outfit is a whole bag of Skittles. Crazy eclectic. and they used the whole Crayola box. It is one of the most ridiculous costumes ever put on a main character in anything, I think. That is still supposed to be taken seriously. Let's put it that way. It's pretty out there. Alright, so I got a Tenant, which, sure. Colin Baker. Which is cool, because they don't do a lot of Colin Baker stuff. He's one of the least popular classic doctors. But I like him. I don't have a problem with him. First thing is to empty the dishwasher and reload it with what I've got. Chicken, get that going. Because I'm going to marinate it for a little while before I actually fry it up. Because that seems like smart order operations. A little bit of, light curing seasoning before I fry it. That, and after cutting 5 pounds of chicken, I'm going to want a minute to not be dealing with chicken. So it gives us both some time apart, which I think is healthy. More or less. We're definitely getting our 1 brick done daily. It's just really slow going, because 1 brick versus mountain, Still feel like I'm getting a phone call. There's a lot I can't change it. It's got that quality of life question in my head. I don't know how I feel about it all. I mean, with my mom, she was in physical pain. There was great discomfort. She was having a hard time breathing. They were keeping her comfortable, but my dad is up and about, and I don't want to say alert, because I wouldn't, not willing to do that to the word alert. He clearly has no idea what's going on most of the time. Let's come home and see Mom. Hell, maybe she's still here. I don't even know at this point. Maybe he'd see her like the other 14 people that aren't here. I don't know. Thinking those thoughts, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and sign up here. It's gonna be nothing but dead air on the recording, so now I'm gonna get to work. Honestly, I'm gonna smoke for a minute, then I'm gonna start doing dishes and chicken. David Tennant and Colin Baker, that would be an interesting team up. Still sorting stuff behind me. And I got some... This is more a reward thing for me for later. But, because I've got a primer, an acrylic primer for plastics. I'm going to start priming some of the furniture that I'm going to paint for my dollhouse. Mom said I could do that as a treat for myself because it's creative. I'm kidding. She didn't give me permission. Didn't even talk to her about it really, other than I'm probably gonna paint these. You know, we talk. We're little kids together. We talk about that. Oh yeah, no, this couch. I know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna cut this part off, and then we talk about these things. So we are those dorks. But yeah, I got some painting to do, which means I got some priming to do first. And that's okay. It's part of it. I think I'm going to prime one of the couches first. So I can, experiment with the colors and figure out, because I've got a couple of, multi-pack acrylics. Figure out exactly what colors I want to do. For the lounge. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the two big things, I've got several couches now to do, and the library cart. I think I'm going to work on one of the couches first, though. Because once I know what colors I'm doing, then it's just a matter of using that Zen time to do the other couches. With a game plan already in place, knowing that I'm doing carnation pink and sunrise yellow or what have you. Yeah, I do a couch. Now, when the vice president says he's going to do a couch, completely different me. Okay, I'll stop. I really like your cushions. Yeah. I had a friend that used to, one of her favorite things to say to me was, I can't with you. I think there's some wisdom there. Yeah. Geminis. God damn, I love those Geminis. All right. Historically, Geminis have gotten me in the best trouble ever. They've got me in the best trouble that was worth having. It's true. So, never had to get fingerprinted. There was a line, Right. Hug your parents, hug your kids, and make it a great day.